Vusi, to you first of all, this is your debut movie, right?
Yes, most
first
definitely.
Time. Okay,
yes.
Here's the question. First time you sat on set, can you picture it? Okay, and you shouted, action. How did that feel?
I think...
Do it for me. Do it for me. In a director's voice.
And action.
And action.
I think it was...
Can you do better?
Action.
And action.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And action. How did it go?
I think for me, it was a nerve-wracking experience.
Yeah.
You know, I was very nervous and wanted everything to go, according to order, But most importantly, it was about, ascertaining the chain of command and making sure that everybody has an understanding that I know what I'm doing. Because coming in as a young director, with an experienced crew, people are skeptical.
So I guess you've got to stamp your authority on proceedings from the get-go, the moment you start. And I know nothing about this, I'm assuming it's looking after the creative side of it, because that's what directors do, but you've also got to have an eye on budget, on the technology around it. It's a tricky thing to balance, isn't it?
Yeah, you need to, because you're working with a DOP, and most of the time the DOP has probably done two
What
features.
is a DOP?
The cinematographer,
Okay.
director of photography, and the gaffer, everybody is more experienced than you are, so they know better things than you do, but you have to bring them onto your vision and how you want things to be
How do you
done.
do that?
Specifically on this one, I think coming on with a plan, and what I do is that I put the film on paper before I even shoot it.
Yeah.
So when I sit down, the film is on paper. I say, here's the film. This is what we're going to do, A, B, C, up until Z. So everybody knows that, okay, this is what the director wants.
Percy, I'm getting to you in the festival in just a moment, but just one more question. I understand you've got to block everything, right? But you've also got to be flexible enough to change midstream should you see that moment of magic.
I think
Or not, I don't know.
No,
what do I know? I've never directed anything.
I think like a director, you must be like water.
Yeah.
You must be able to flow. Because sometimes you can get blocked, and water always finds a way, to escape. So as a director, you need to be very fluid, because situations happen. You're not expecting rain today, and it's raining. You need to start thinking about that. You're expecting this actor to give it to you like this, and they do not. They want to give it to you like that. So you have to find a way to make both synergies work for you to get what you want. You must be very, very fluid.
Okay, Percy, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
You were about to go, weren't you? This man's not.
It's all about
This is the third festival.
Yeah.
Are people still going to movies? Are they looking for this type of specialist movie that you're showcasing?
Yeah, look, I think people understand that stories are important, and we are a country that's very big on stories. The Johannesburg Film Festival, for instance, the Joburg Film Festival, we say that stories are our gold, and based on the fact that we are built in Johannesburg, a city that's built on gold, the discovery of gold, and people come here to find gold, but nobody mines in this town anymore, right? And so that gold is the people and their stories. And I think people yearn for that meaning. And film festivals like these, like the Joburg Film Festival, that wants to celebrate those stories with the baseline of excellence from the African world. And I mean, both continentally and globally. I think people know that there's something to be told by the likes of Vusi, who have a pulse on something that's happening about what it means to be us here and now. And they're able to tell it to us in the most aesthetically pleasing way.
So around 60 movies, am I correct?
60 films,
60 films. Difficult to make a choice.
Hectic.
Do you have more than you can accommodate?
So we have a team of curators led by Pedro Pimenta with Nhlanhla Ndaba, and of course our festival director Bongi Wesilani. They have had their work cut out, and I think they've come up with some of the best films that are on circuit now in the world. They've managed to go across the world to go find some of the best films, and they brought it together. Of course they've had more than they could accommodate,
sure.
But narrowing it down through watching and re-watching, and until we settle on a bouquet of offering that says this is the best films to be seen in Johannesburg here and now.
Vusi, this is the trailer of your movie, I believe, that we've just been playing. You
Yes.
were so focused on Percy, you didn't even notice it, but it's fine. I'll help you out. When you saw it for the first time, and again, we're seeing it now, what do you feel good? Or do you look at it and you think, I could have done this better, I could have done this better?
I think because Letters of Hope is our first baby, you know, as Trial by Media Films, you know. So, and it was Aprem Kefe's first lead role in a film. So it was all our first. You know, so when we look at it, it takes us to the feeling of saying we managed, you know, we managed to do it. It's very pleasing to have.
What's the next movie? Are you looking for a very old newsreader? But I want my own trailer.
Nicely played.
As far as this film this festival is concerned, also the premiere of a locally produced horror film.
Yeah.
The movie's called
8.
Tell us about it.
You know, like we pride ourselves on celebrating African stories and excellence here. So it made sense that we opened with a South African film, and it's a horror film. It's very hard to scare people these days when, you know, all sorts of weird things are happening in the world. Our news is scary, and I think what Harold Hatcher and them did with this film is something wonderful. I think we can.
What's the premise?
We can park Stephen King for a bit. You know, it's a story of a cast man who, you know, and it's based on folklore here, and it's easy to deal. Let me, you know, maybe to digress a bit. It's easy to deal with scary things when they're from elsewhere, but when they speak to myths from your own backyard, I think it hits home in a much more terrifying way. You know, it's about a man who has to ferry, you know, and look after damned souls, and you know, and find himself in that space.
Yeah, okay.
It's scary.
I think I'm going to see Vusi's movie. Okay, get the plug in quickly. 19th to the 24th of November. 60 films, as you've mentioned. Very quickly, whereabouts do we get to see these?
So we're showing across the city. We're showing at our Nelson Mandela Square hub in Sandton City, and we're showing at the Sandton City Stekineka. We're showing at King's in Alex, at the historic cinema there, and it's a very important cinema. I encourage people to go see it. And we go also to Cinema Novo, and in downtown Johannesburg we are at the Bioscope. But our hub is in the Nelson Mandela Square. We're going to have fun there, so at any given time of the day, come there, you'll meet lovely people. We have 2 premieres a day, so that means, you know, ties and suits, you know, twice a day, and that's going to be great.
Ties and suits?
Yeah, I mean, you know, red carpet event every day. So, yeah, we'll find you one.
Find me one. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Percy, thank you very much indeed. So, how are we going to end this interview? What do you say when the scene's over? Go on, do it. Just do it for me.
And cut.
No, better than that.
And cut.
More authority.
And cut.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.